Hello and welcome to the J.P.Casler podcast. As always, the first rule is, don't be a dick. And if you catch yourself being a dick, stop it, apologize, and don't do that shit again. I'm looking at the manosphere and the politics, and Joe Rogan just had a politician on, some MAGA guy, talking about aliens. Not illegal aliens, just aliens. These people are just yapping. I've been watching men my whole life act like morons. I don't trust them. Nowadays, I just look and see if it's an old white guy. They're spouting bullshit. Can't believe a fucking word these guys say. These guys don't care about you, me. They just want to make money while the sun shines. I call it a death spiral. They're not even hiding anything anymore. It's a money grab. The whole thing's a money grab. Everybody's got a price. What I see is a bunch of ugly dudes with power. And they're wielding their power to make money. It's just money-making bullshit. Men want to make money. They want to get laid. After they make money, they want to get laid again. I just look at these guys and go, what lady in their right mind would be attracted to this? And then you look around and darn near all these guys are married and have families and whatnot. And I just feel for the woman that has to sleep with Joe Rogan or Senator Tuberville or Donald Trump, for God's sakes. Kid Rock, for that matter. Now, they may be good old boys. They may be buddies. They may be somebody you want to shoot up some beers with. Remember when they used to say, yeah, I'd like to drink a beer with that guy. That politician looks like he'd be a good guy to have a beer with. As long as you're buying. I don't keep up with this stuff too much, but do like to see what's going on with manosphere, as they call it. My litmus test is, do you let women on the show? Do you let women be pope? Do you let women be president? Do you let women do whatever job it is that you're purporting to do? And mind you, these guys talk about everybody pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and you lazy kids in your mother's basement playing your video games. Then they go to war with Iran after promising you no never-ending wars. And then they're going to send some more of you women's babies out there to be killed. That's why we got to go with only women voting. It's the only way out of this crap. The Iroquois, Native American people, had a governing system that matriarchal, run by women. They had the men as the chiefs and the warriors and whatnot, but the women were the checks and balances. That's the way our government was set up, was to have checks and balances of the three branches of government. Right now, out of the three branches of government, they're all compromised. They're all dudes. They're all dudes blowing each other. They're going on Joe Rogan's podcast, sending Senator Dumbfuck, some dude who, he's just homespun and he's just speaking like every man, you know. He mentioned spark plugs. He even knew what a spark plug was. They're owning the libs and shit. You ever notice they had the squad? They hated these women. Ilhan Omar. Yeah, this lady is living the American dream. Ilhan Omar is. She was in a freaking refugee camp as a child. Makes it all the way to America. Gets voted into Congress. Only to have the president and other yahoos tell her to go back to her country. Well, you know what they really have a problem with is, she's a pretty woman. So is AOC. These guys hate women, let alone pretty women. Obvious to everybody that these guys aren't good people. New rule. My own personal rule. Anytime I see a white guy talking, I'm assuming it's a lie now. President's lied over 35,000 times. Doesn't know Epstein. Price of gas is not a problem. Blah, blah, blah. Spending millions, billions on war. Giving billions to Elon Musk. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. These guys are all, well, the whole basic thing is guys like pussy. Guys want pussy they don't deserve. They wait for women to get in vulnerable positions and and they get to ride in like a knight on a white horse. We're going to save you, little lady. They ain't here to save you. Just look around. If you don't see any women there, there's a reason. Either the women don't want to be there or they don't want women there. This whole country's become a big dick fest. We got an 80-year-old lying, conniving, misogynistic bullshitter as the President of the United States. How much damage can he do in the next couple of years? How much damage has he already done? I don't know. But I know he's made billions of dollars. Now, mind you, we're talking about a guy who, most years, pays $750 in taxes. And they talk about your tax money, and they can't afford to pay for food stamps and such, or your Medi-Cal. Trump could give a fuck about Medi-Cal. I guess the best thing I can tell you is don't trust a guy. Systematically taking away anything that the general population could use and privatizing it or selling it off to their buddies. It's cronyism. Good old boys helping good old boys. It's a boys' club. That's why I'm the mole. You know, every guy that I see out in public, they'll say, man, I used to have hair like that. Really? Yeah, well, my hair was down to here. Wow. What happened? Well, I had to, get a job and stuff, Okay? What does that have to do with you being bald now? How weird a thing is that? And they need to get laid. So I look at any of these guys and say, is that guy getting laid? Not by choice. Not by woman's choice. Behind every MAGA man is a woman trying to get away. Or a woman selling out the rest of women. These people don't care about women, children. They care about themselves. They care about money. But Elon Musk has fucking fuck you money. He goes up and buys up Twitter. These guys are buying up all the media outlets. The most trusted news source in America used to be Walter Cronkite and the news. These guys will lie right to your friggin' face. They have no morals. They have no love. There's the gist of it, man. These guys love money, power, and sex. But they don't want to pay for any of it. They want you to pay for it. They hate paying taxes. They love spending taxpayer money. They want to do whatever it is they want to do. It means nothing to them. They just want to win today's battle, win the news cycle. And they got it down to a science. They're going to do something stupid or something they know people don't want. They know what people want. It just doesn't work for them because they're elite rich fuckers. So when you see a rich guy, a rich white guy, yapping on the TV, know that he's there for a reason, and it's not you. These guys claim to be for the police, and they storm the Capitol and injure a bunch of policemen. And they hire ICE agents to come and terrorize fellow Americans. Just pull you out of your car and beat you in the street. And you got a bunch of yahoos cheering them on. If you're sleeping next to a MAGA guy or a senator, ask yourself, how did I get here? This is not my beautiful car. This is not my beautiful life. 2 out of 3 of Donald Trump's wives are illegal immigrants. And the other one, he was cheating on the first illegal immigrant with. And that daughter that they had, Tiffany, Trump married her off to some Lebanese, some multimillionaire. Sure seems like strange bedfellows, huh? And what do they have in common? Money and power. All the people that have been fired in the administration are women. Now, mind you, nobody's going to have any lost sleep over Pam Bondi, who's been covering up for Trump and the pedophiles for years since she was in Florida. And she's also married to some rich guy, some older rich guy. Old rich guys and young women, huh? Now, these same old rich guys, they lowered the age of consent to 15 in a couple of states while you were busy looking at other things. Now, who's clamoring for 15-year-old girls to be legal? I'm not thinking it's 15-year-old girls. Matter of fact, the 15-year-old girls didn't get to vote, but they lowered the age that they can be consensually sexualized. How do you think that's going to play out? I imagine it's hard enough for women to talk about being violated, let alone having it made legal 3 years before you could vote. God help you if you're attractive and a female and 15 in a red state. God help you if you're a gay woman or a gay man in a red state. Now, these guys that are out there spouting their propaganda and have never been to Epstein Island and all of this such, and we're up in arms about Diddy, it just goes to show you, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This will tell you about human nature, right? I was in Hawaii. Every month, we have the air raid sirens go off to test the air raid siren in case the Japanese are going to attack us again like Pearl Harbor. And so they've had this system up since after Pearl Harbor. So we're used to it, and the buzzers go off, bop, 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 and you wait for it to end. Okay, the system's fine. Well, this one day, they said this is not a test. We were told, I think it was North Korea, sending missiles our way. We in Hawaii were told this is not a drill. Something's going down. Get to your shelters. Now, that's not something you deal with every day. And I can tell you, it doesn't feel real good. We got any air missile defense systems out there that are going to stop this and whatnot? I don't know, but at the time that the air raid sirens went off, there was 36,000 people on Pornhub in Hawaii. So within 15 minutes, 20,000 people had logged off of Pornhub. But that still left 16,000 people who, in the face of incoming missiles, decided they still had enough time to whack one more off. That'll tell you a little bit about guys. All right, kids, this has been the J.P. Pod-CASLER podcast. Leave a comment, like, do all that crap, and we'll talk to you next time if there is a next time. Glory to your God.